Hello Lexo. So if you've actually made this part and you've completed everything, I'll show you how to change the I think it's called the dropout, and I think you also mentioned the feature back here and this, because I looked at the picture and I noticed it's different. So two things you can do: you can actually delete all this feature, but I don't want you to do that. I'll teach you another way you can actually have two features in one part. So click on this little thing that says that's configuration manager, and right click, and you'll see this add configuration, and you can just name it whatever you want. I'll just name it new, I'll call it dropout. Call it new dropout and click OK. So what this does is, and once you make the configuration, make sure the check mark is under the new dropout. So what this does is it lets you have multiple different features in the same part file, and everything will make sense once we're done. So go back into, make sure this new dropout is selected, and go back into that feature. And now what we want to do is all the stuff you said you don't want, we are just going to suppress it. So right click on this face and on this face here and click the suppress. Hopefully nothing breaks. Good. What else? We're going to suppress this one. Right click on that, suppress. Good. So far everything is going good. Right click on this and suppress it, and right click on, and that is the mirror. Right click on it and suppress it. So we have everything now up to this point. So that means in this new part file, watch what happens if I go to the default. Everything is revealed, and if I go to the new one, only that is revealed. So that's what we want. So now we just need to build the frame the way you prefer it. So I'm just going to, what I'm going to do is, our frame ends at that point. So what I'm going to do is drag this and up this feature rollback tree. I'm just going to drag it up to somewhere after the plane 6. So everything is suppressed below it, just for now. So what we are going to do now is, I'm going to show my sketch again, and now let me look for the plane. So this plane 4, which is the plane we drew that is on this bottom line, we're going to draw another sketch on it. So click it, sketch, normal 2, and I'm going to do normal 2 again. And now we want to draw, let me go normal 2, but that feature show this sketch on that top feature. So on this top feature, show the sketch. So now on that sketch, you want to select that line and convert entity. And once you've done that, you can now hide that sketch. So you have that line, is convert entity, and I'm just going to drag it up somewhere over there. So I'm going to draw an arc, and it's going to have a point over there, starting over there and ending somewhere over here, and just drag it out like so. So this arc, the point of this arc and that origin point is going to be horizontal to each other, and the dimension between those two is going to be 5. And select this arc and that line and make them tangent to each other, and I'm just going to trim that off. Oh, not that, let me back, Control Z back, and trim this arc off. And the next thing we want to do is just add a radius to this, and it's going to be 307. And again, I'm going to trim the excess line off. So everything is fully defined. So once our sketch is fully defined, we're just going to exit out of it. Click that exit out, and now I'm just going to draw and make a new plane. So go to your plane, reference geometry plane, select this line and select that point. So you have a plane that is perpendicular to it, and click OK. And select that plane, sketch, and number 2. And the same thing we did with the other one, we're just going to draw an ellipse. So you probably have to bend it to see that origin point. So just draw an ellipse, something like that. And you can go number 2 now. And click that point and the origin point and make them vertical to each other. And I think we made this 15.5. And we made this 12. And once that is done, close your sketch. I'm going to hide my plane. So we're going to go to the sweep feature, profile, and our part. I'm just going to sweep it and click OK. So now the next thing we want to do is find the plane that is between this geometry. So I can't remember which plane it is. Let me look for it. I think it's plane 6. Plane 6, yes. So the plane 6 that is in between those 2 frames. So we're going to draw a sketch on it, and number 2. So now just start with two lines, something going like that, and draw another line over here, and draw another line coming down, and click the bottom edge of this frame and that line and make it parallel to each other, and click this line and that edge as well and make them parallel to each other. So you have those two, and now connect this line and that, and connect this line and that line together, and from the origin point to that line make it 306, and from the top part, the origin point to the bottom of that line, make it 30. So I'll move this over here so you can see it. So it's 30. Make this line and something aligned like that, make it 49. And I'm going to move this up. No, delete that 49 for now, and I'm just going to drag this up. Add an angle between these two lines and make it 71. Okay, and now make this 49. Okay, that's what we want. And just going to drag this somewhere back a little bit. And the next thing we want to do is draw a circle somewhere over here, and make the circle and this line tangent to each other, and make the circle and this line also tangent to each other. And I'm going to extend this line to that circle, and I'm going to trim the excess off, so you have something like that. And now I'm trying to figure out what else we need. So what we need to do is just fully define this. So add a dimension from this point to that origin point of that line and make it 41. So our sketch is fully defined. Let's add one more. So what we can do is we can add another, and I'm going to delete not delete but hide that for now, so you see what we have. So far this is what we have. Let's add one more. So we might as well just add our cut to it. So I'm going to draw another line over here, and I'm going to draw another line over here. Make these two lines parallel to each other and add the dimension from this line to that line and make it 4.75 degrees. And from the bottom to this edge of this line, make it 11.5. So we have 11.5, and so what we can do is add another dimension, add another circle here. I'm trying to figure out how to make this look like the picture. So make the circle tangent, make it tangent to this line as well. And oh no, delete this dimension and make from this center point and to this, from the center point of that circle to that bottom edge, make it 11.5. So yeah, that's what you want. So we have something like that, and make this 11. So, or let's trim it first. So I'm going to trim everything, and I'm just going to make this to 11. So I'm just going to drag that out a little bit, drag it out some more, and we need one more dimension, and from here, from the back edge to that is going to be 28. And what we can do is trim this off and trim that off. So we have that the way we want it. And what you can do now is just, so hopefully you can see everything. Let me move it. This is 71. So what you can do now is go back to your feature and extrude by the mid plane, and it's going to be 3.785, and click OK. So we have that now, and the next thing we need to do is just draw the do our draft angle. So click on the draft. It is going to be 65, and the draft plane is going to be the plane 6, and click on that face and that face and click OK. And we're going to do the same thing, draft again, click on your plane 6, whatever the plane reference is for the planes between these two feature, and click this face and click that face, and make sure you move it back in the opposite direction and click OK. So we have that now. So the next thing we want to do is mirror this over. So we are going to select the mirror feature, the right plane. You want to mirror it about the right plane. The features we want to mirror are this sweep, that sweep, our extrude, and the 2 draft angle, and click OK. So everything looks the way you want it now, and there's one more stuff we have to do. So the next thing we want to do is look for the top plane, this plane that we used to make this feature, which omizes the plane 2. Draw a sketch on it and go normal to, and just draw a line from the origin point up, and draw another line horizontal coming this way, and make sure that line is horizontal, and click that line and click this point and make it add the midpoint relation to it, and make the dimension of this line 70 and make the dimension of this line 30. So you have 30 and 70, or you can even make this 75, something like that. We are going to adjust this later, but let's just do this now. Oh, before we go, let's just adjust it. So that is this dimension, this feature, and we can just update it so that way it is much curvier than what we have before. So let me find it. It's this feature, and I can just go into that sketch and edit it, and let me go normal 2, and I'm just going to update this dimension. So to make it a little bit curvier, we're just going to change the radius to 80, and you feel free to mess around with it till you get what you like, and change this to 90, so we get that much curve there. It looks like it's bending a little bit more, and exit out of that sketch, and everything should update. So now if we go back into this sketch and normal 2, you can leave that, change this dimension back to 70. So you have your 30 and your 70, and make sure this is a construction line, and once that is done, go to your sweep feature, select that, select the circular, and change that to 12, and click OK. And we are going to do the same thing for the bottom one. So find the plane for the bottom, which is plane 4. So again, sketch, normal 2, and draw a line from here coming down, and the line is going to be 67, and I hope you can see it. I know it's kind of like the color is dark, but the line is there. So draw another line horizontal. So click the line and the point of that line we just drew, and make it midpoint, and make this line 65. So make sure you make this a construction line, and exit out, and we are going to go back to the sweep feature, circular 12, and click OK. So we pretty much have the frame the way you want it. So now what you can do is start rolling down these features, and we're just going to roll it all the way down, and there you go, everything is back in place. And the only thing we need to do is add a fillet to all those places. So let's start with the ones where we suppress those fillet. So click your fillet and make it 4, and so we want to add it to this face, that face, back here, back there, and down, not down on this edge, that edge, this edge, this edge, and over here. There. I think we got everything, and maybe right here too. So pretty much all the places you feel you need the fillet, add the fillet, and click OK. So next thing we want to do is add another fillet back here. So our fillet size is going to be 6. and it's just going to be this top edge and this bottom edge and the same thing over here, and click OK. So the next thing, we can add another fillet to this face. So make sure your fillet is 0.7 and just click this face and click this edge. So you want to do the same thing, click this face and click that edge and this face, this edge, and there's one more, this face and this edge, and click OK. So we have the fillet there. The only thing we need to add fillet on is this back edge, so you can click the fillet. Let's try 0.5. I'm not sure what will work on it, so let's try that. Yeah, 0.5 works. So click that bottom edge, this edge, and that edge, and click OK. So the frame is pretty much done. The next thing, we can add a little bit more detail to it. So the plane 1, the plane that is perpendicular to this pole, click on that plane and sketch and normal 2 and go normal 2 again. So just draw a slot. Let's do a center and click the middle point and just drag it up, something like that, and drag it out. So we have something like that, and the distance, this is going to be 38, and this is going to be 5. So you have something like that. So again, go back to your feature, extrude cut up to next, and click OK. So we have that cut on the back. So we're pretty much done with this frame the way you want it. The only thing we want to do now is, if I go back in this feature and some of the features might break, is okay, we'll just fix it. So if I click on the default and you see something is breaking, so I'm just going to go back and look at the, so it's saying some fillets broke in that feature, in that configuration. So I'm going to go back into there, and it's these 2 fillets, so I'm going to edit it. And because we changed the radius of this, that's why some of this sketch are missing. So it's saying like missing edges. So I'm just going to reselect those 4 edge, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to select those 4 edge. There you go. And I can delete all these ones, delete all this missing edge. I'll select everything and clear selection. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. I have to do this all over again. Select, I should have deleted it first. There, and do the same thing over here. And click OK. So the only thing we need to fix is this edge. So click that fillet. I'm going to click it. The missing edge, I'm going to delete that, and I'm just going to add it again. So it seems like it's this edge. Just going to add that edge and click OK. So as you can see, let me go normal to this feature. Everything is completed in this feature as well. So if I go back to this configuration, watch what happens when I switch between these two configurations. As you can see, you see how everything is updating to the different configuration we made it to. So if I click that first one, you see switch back again, and switch back again. So anyway, that's how you make configuration. So if you made the first one, you don't have to delete it. Just follow what I just did and you should be able to get the second frame, and that way you can kind of have like two different frame designs. Anyway, thank you, and thank you for your patience. I hope explaining this is clear to you. If it's not clear, please leave a comment and I would answer your question. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.